Battlefront 2 just dropped a bombshell of a trailer for its final game update of 2019. The Rise of Skywalker update is arriving just a few days before the new movie itself does, and today we have all the details about everything coming to Battlefront 2 in this update. Welcome back to the channel, everybody, and to one of the biggest updates this game has ever seen. Be sure you're subscribed and you're getting notified for more Star Wars gaming videos, and especially more Battlefront 2 videos as we're gearing up for new content in 2020. We're gonna jump right into all the new features arriving this month though. First, a new playable location is available in both co-op and Heroes vs. Villains modes. The new map is inspired by the Rise of Skywalker. It's the new jungle planet that we see in the trailers, and it's featured heavily in the new Battlefront 2 trailer as well. Currently, we don't know the name of this new planet. The team at DICE is withholding that information so as to avoid spoilers for the new movie, but the new map is dropping on December 20th and we will know the name of it by then. The Rise of Skywalker game update is also bringing 4 new reinforcements to the game, 2 for the First Order and 2 for the Resistance. We now know what these reinforcements are and what their abilities will be. The First Order gets the highly requested Sith Trooper as a new infiltrator class, as well as a revamped aerial in the form of the First Order Jet Trooper. The Sith Trooper excels in speed and advanced weaponry. His 3 abilities are Combat Rush, Seeker Tactics, and the Oppression Grenade. Activating Combat Rush will boost the sprinting speed of the Sith Trooper, and defeating enemies while it's active will not only extend the time of the ability, but will also trigger health regeneration. Seeker Tactics will allow the Sith Trooper to scan the nearby area to reveal the 4 closest enemies, and defeating enemies will reveal more. The Oppression Grenade brings a new effect to Battlefront 2. Not only does it cause damage to nearby enemies, but any enemy that it hits won't be able to recover health for a short period of time. This all makes it sound like the Sith Trooper will be a major problem for the Resistance, but they're also going to have to contend with the First Order's revamped aerial class, the new Jet Trooper. This new addition to the First Order's ranks also comes with 3 abilities: their jetpack ability, tri-barrel launcher, and jet tackle. The jetpack is easy enough to understand. Just like Boba Fett, it enables flight while spending fuel. The tri-barrel launcher configures their blaster into a tri-barreled projectile launcher at the expense of increased heat buildup. And the jet tackle is just how it sounds. The jet trooper will charge forward along the ground and slam into opponents, knocking them off their feet. These 2 new troops sound really strong and will really boost up the First Order's ranks, but to maintain a fighting chance, the Resistance also gets 2 new reinforcements to back them up: the Ovissian Gunner and the caphex Spy. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing those names correctly, but these reinforcements also have 3 abilities themselves. The Ovissian Gunner's abilities are Charge, Defensive Stance, and Anti-Armor mode. Charge is very similar to the Jet Trooper's Jet Tackle, where she charges forward and slams into an enemy to knock them down. Defensive Stance is similar to the Clone Commando's Battle Focus ability. It instantly cools her blaster, and any damage she deals replenishes health for both herself and any nearby allies. The Anti-Armor mode ability is also similar to the Clone Commando's grenade launcher, as it switches the Ovissian Gunner's cannon into a weapon that's more effective against both shields and vehicles. The Ovissian Gunner is pretty unique because she brings a brand new weapon to Battlefront 2 never seen before: a modified Z6B rotary cannon, which is not used by any other trooper class or hero. The other Resistance reinforcement is called the caphex Spy. This new trooper's 3 abilities are Truncheon Attack, Scanner Beacon, and Rapid Fire. Truncheon Attack sounds like a callback to Battlefront 2015's hero Jyn Erso, who had the exact same ability. The caphex Spy can chain 3 powerful truncheon attacks, with the 3rd one knocking enemies to the ground. The Scanner Beacon is a very unique ability, which lets the spy deploy a decoy which lets you know the location of enemies and disrupts their radar. What's cool about this ability though is if you deploy it outdoors, it can be used to call in a remote bombardment, which is very unique to Battlefront 2. The spy's final ability, Rapid Fire, will overload his Glee 44 blaster pistol, allowing it to rapidly fire with maximum damage output. Both the First Order and the Resistance will really be powered up with these new reinforcements, and all 4 are dropping with the Rise of Skywalker update, which is the biggest reinforcement drop Battlefront 2 has ever had in a single month. Besides the new planet and the new reinforcements, the Rise of Skywalker update is also bringing some of our sequel trilogy heroes new appearances. Kylo Ren, Finn, and Rey will each get 1 new skin based on the movie. All 3 appearances will be classified as epic and will be available for purchase for 40,000 credits or 1,000 crystals. If you're a player who recently picked up the new Celebration Edition of Battlefront 2 though, all 3 appearances will be unlocked automatically. Since the Rise of Skywalker update deals with sequel trilogy content, a lot more focus is being put on those maps in Battlefront 2. With this update, the new co-op mode is being expanded to include sequel trilogy maps, starting with Jakku, Takodana, Starkiller Base, and the new Jungle Planet coming this month. Besides the new planets being added to the co-op rotation, this update is also bringing some changes to the menu which will give you more control over which faction you want to play as in co-op. Right now, since co-op only covers one era, we only get to choose between light side or dark side. With this update though, there will now be 5 options when selecting co-op. Play any, Galactic Republic, Separatist Alliance, Resistance, and First Order. While co-op is only the first, other game modes will eventually be getting updated with similar menu structure in the coming months, including Capital Supremacy. While these are all the new content features, a lot more quality of life is also going into this update. A new Mark Objectives feature is coming in the Rise of Skywalker update, which is another callback to Battlefront 2015. This new feature will allow you to mark objectives in-game in both co-op and Capital Supremacy. All you have to do is aim in the direction of the objective, press an assigned button, and the marker will pop up on that objective. A small number will appear next to that objective marker, letting you know how many players have marked it. The whole idea behind this feature is to signal to your squad and teammates that that objective should be their focus. Sometimes it can be difficult to communicate in-game and let your squad mates know what you're trying to do, so this should hopefully help a little bit with that. The more markers you see on any one objective, you'll know the more people are focusing on it, and you should probably go help them. Another new quality of life change coming to Battlefront 2 this month is the healing blocked messaging system. As we talked about before, the Sith Trooper's Oppression Grenade brings a new effect to Battlefront 2, which prevents health recovery to any target that it hits. Players hit by this Oppression Grenade will see a diagonal stripe going through their health bar, which is to signal that it is in this recovery blocked state. Once that diagonal stripe is gone though, you will once again be able to recover health like normal. Another UI change coming this month is the dimming of weapons crosshairs. The team went through most weapons and made sure that the crosshairs were properly dimmed while they are deployed or they are otherwise blocked from firing. Typical cases of this would include going from wheel to destroyer form with the droideka, going into predator instincts with Bosk, or going into Leia's rapid fire ability. The idea is to hopefully make it easier to understand what the current status of your weapon is. The crosshairs will be dimmed when you're switching back and forth between those abilities or your primary weapon, and the idea is just to show you that you will not be able to fire during that transition period, when the crosshairs are dimmed. These all sound like great UI and quality of life improvements, but just as with every other game update, the heroes are also getting a number of changes this month. A universal change coming to the majority of the heroes is a targeting system which lets you know how many players you will hit with any given ability. Affected heroes and abilities are as follows: Luke Skywalker's Push and Repulse, Emperor Palpatine's Dark Aura and Electrocute, Anakin Skywalker's Heroic Impact and Pull Dominance, Chewbacca's Charge Slam, Count Dooku's Lightning Stun, Kylo Ren's Pull and Freeze, Darth Maul's Choke Throw, Obi-Wan's Restrictive Mind Trick, Rey's Mind Trick, and Yoda's Unleash. This has nothing to do with activating the ability, it's simply a visual marker that lets you know how many targets are in range of the ability before you activate it. Blaster heroes had a small issue fixed which would cause them to walk faster than intended in the crouch position. Sounds like a small bug that was affecting all the blasters, but that's now gone. Now let's move on to some hero-specific changes. Boba Fett is getting a number of improvements to his jetpack, which go in line with the new First Order Jet Trooper and his jetpack ability. As it is right now, when Boba Fett is flying and he runs out of jetpack fuel, his momentum will stop, he'll fall straight down. This update is changing that to where he will maintain that momentum when he runs out of fuel. He will still move forward in the same way that the First Order Jet Troopers do. Boba will also have new fuel bars shown near the crosshairs to let you know how much fuel he has left in his jetpack. Boba Fett had a small bug where if you would do aerial dodges, after he would land in a crouched position, which was really detrimental to him because he could not activate his jetpack after landing. This has now been fixed and Boba can no longer crouch while in the air, which avoids accidentally landing in that crouched position. Boba is also getting a bit of a buff to his jump, I suppose. His fuel will now regenerate while he is jumping, which it did not before, and on top of that, by holding the jump button, you can also activate his jetpack, which before you could only activate by holding down the zoom button. Moving on to our next hero, Darth Vader got a reversion to a change that he got to his choke ability in the last update. Last update, it was made so that he could only activate choke if there was a target in range, and this requirement is now removed. Darth Vader does not need a target in order to activate choke anymore. Next, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and this change is absolutely massive for the light side. Obi-Wan can no longer prevent dodges with his restrictive mind trick ability. That's huge, and it's a serious nerf to Obi-Wan and his mind trick, but not necessarily an unwelcome change. The restrictive mind trick's ability to stop dodging is one of the most powerful effects in Battlefront 2, and it spells basically instant death for all troopers and enemy villains who use blasters. The mind trick will still prevent the activation of enemy abilities though, which is fine. Anakin Skywalker had a small glitch where his footsteps would be missing sound effects, and that has been fixed. Bossk has had some changes to his fire input tweaks, and this has a lot to do with that crosshair dimming we talked about earlier. Before this update, Bossk was able to fire his primary weapon while either laying down his proximity mines or throwing out his Dioxis grenade. There has been a tweak to the fire input block duration while he activates these abilities, which will stop Bossk from firing his primary weapon until the animation for the ability is over. This is just to make Bossk fall more into line with other blaster heroes who cannot fire their weapon while activating an ability themselves, such as Leia and her flash grenade, and Lando and his disabler. Bosk's Predator Instinct is also getting a tweak, which will prevent Bossk from firing the first shot until the animation for the ability is completely done. Right now, during that transition animation, you can fire a grenade before the animation is complete, but that will change after this update. Besides these hero changes, a number of trooper, map, reinforcement, and game mode changes have also been implemented in this update, and I'll leave a link to the complete patch notes so that you can see those smaller changes for yourself, as they're not entirely worth bringing up in this video. But with that, that is the Rise of Skywalker update coming to Battlefront 2 in just a couple of hours after this video goes live. Big thank you to everybody who stuck around until the end of this video. Be sure to give this one a thumbs up if you enjoyed today's coverage, and drop a comment below letting me know your favorite part about this update. We still have way more Battlefront 2 content to look forward to next month, including new heroes BB-8 and BB-9E, so stick around for that. But that's going to do it for this one, guys. I really appreciate you stopping by the bazaar. I'll see you all out on the battlefront. Peace.